Construction of canals and dry docks was undertaken by the Military Engineer Corps. Myanmar Navy was responsible for the necessary preparations to ensure the strength of the vessels and the transportation through waterways. While waiting for the dry season to transport the blocks from Samekong Port to Naypyidaw by land roads, the unnecessary portions of the blocks were removed, ensuring the blocks closely met the desired size for sculpting to achieve the finished dimensions of the Great Buddha statue and the Great Throne Parks. There was only an 18 miles road from Samekong Port to the Mutar Industrial Zone, and a new 22 miles and 5 furlongs road has to be constructed from the Mutar Industrial Zone to the Sagaing roundabout. The construction of bypass roads for 83 bridges and 2 toll gates along the Yangon-Mandalay Expressway with a total length of 30.8 miles was undertaken by the Military Engineering Corps. The blocks were transported by road from Samekong Port through the Mutar Industrial Zone to the Sagaing roundabout on the Yangon-Mandalay Expressway. From there, the blocks were transported along the Yangon-Mandalay Expressway to Naypyidaw. When transported by land road, 12 heavy-duty prime mover vehicles and modular trailers had to be used 7 times to transport the blocks from Samekong to Naypyidaw. To ensure that there is no damage to the highway and no breakage of large stones during the transport journey, engineering calculations have been systematically carried out, necessary reinforcements have been implemented, and accelerometers and strain sensors have been used to record the vibrations and bending of the blocks along the road. Germany's Goldhofer Companies, which manufactures modular trailers, was awarded the certificate of being able to transport the longest distance of heavy objects in the world. When the layout patterns of the blocks were meticulously drew up in advance to position them accurately, calculations and a detailed sculpturing process were prepared to ensure that the blocks were laid out in the correct order for the sculpturing process. Fine strengthening and laying of iron plates had to be carried out in the sites where the big blocks will be placed. Before the statue was sculpted, a 9 feet tall model of the statue was carved in advance. As a pilot project, a model of the head and face at the 4/4 size was also carved. The stone blocks that arrived in Naypyidaw were carved using large CNC machines over a period of about 7 months to be erected and worshipped as the Great Buddha statue, featuring the Bhumipasa Mudra in the style of the Yednavong era. The design of the statue carving model, the design, building, and installation of large CNC machines, as well as the carving work, were carried out by the Office of the Chief of Defense Industries. During the carving of the Great Buddha statue, the large blocks for the throne were placed, assembled, and carved simultaneously. The carved parts of the Buddha statues were placed and assembled together. In building the great marble statue, not only will conventional methods of assembling the marble parts, such as using epoxy and adding steel rock bolts, employed, but modern technology like carbon fiber was also utilized, along with the implementations of wrapping techniques. Designing for their own weight, analyzing and designing to withstand the storm, design analyzing and calculations were carried out to enable the structure to withstand earthquakes and protect against the danger of lightning strikes.